The Salem Witch Trials, 1692. In 1692, the small village of Salem, located in the Massachusetts Bay Colony, became the epicenter of one of the darkest and most infamous episodes in early American history, the Salem Witch Trials. To understand how a deeply religious Puritan community came to accuse, try, and execute dozens of people for alleged witchcraft, it is essential to examine the historical, social, and religious context of the time. The residents of Salem were Puritans, English settlers who had migrated to America seeking religious freedom from the Church of England. However, this freedom developed into a rigid social and religious system where every aspect of daily life was guided by strict interpretation of the Bible. Puritans believed in predestination and the constant presence of the devil as a real threat to their community. Sin, heresy, or any deviation from their faith was severely punished, as they viewed the New World as a new Jerusalem that must remain pure and free from satanic influence. Salem was not a homogeneous community. There were significant divisions between Salem Town, which was more commercially oriented and connected to Boston, and Salem Village, which was rural and agricultural. Social, economic, and political tensions ran high, including disputes over land, inheritance, trade, and leadership within the church. These tensions created fertile ground for mistrust and paranoia. Life in the colonies was challenging. Conflicts with native tribes, such as during King Philip's War, 1675-1678, left deep scars. Colonists lived in fear of attacks, famine, disease, and the devil's influence. When strange behaviors appeared among young girls in Salem Village, fits, convulsions, screaming, and uncontrollable movements, the community had no medical or psychological explanations. Their conclusion was that witchcraft was at work. In January 1692, Betty Paris, daughter of Reverend Samuel Paris, and her cousin Abigail Williams began displaying strange symptoms. Soon, other girls, including Ann Putnam Jr., joined in. Under pressure, the girls accused 3 women: Tituba, a Caribbean slave in the Paris household; Sarah Good, a poor and marginalized woman; and Sarah Osborne, a woman in dispute over inheritance. Each of these women fit the Puritan ideal of a suspicious figure. Tituba was foreign and connected to pagan practices. Sarah Good was poor and socially marginalized, and Sarah Osborne challenged patriarchal norms by contesting land claims. The first arrests in March 1692 triggered an unstoppable chain of events. The governor, William Phips, established a special court, the Court of Oyer and Terminer, to handle the cases. The court accepted spectral evidence, meaning if a victim claimed to see the spirit or apparition of an accused person harming them, it could be considered proof. This subjective form of evidence allowed accusations to multiply uncontrollably. By the summer of 1692, accusations expanded from marginalized women to respected members of the community, such as Rebecca Nurse and Martha Corey. The court system created a deadly dilemma: confess and accuse others to save one's life, or deny the charges and face execution. Many confessed under pressure, while others, like Rebecca Nurse, maintained their innocence. Giles Corey, who refused to plead, was executed by pressing with heavy stones, symbolizing resistance to unjust authority. As the hysteria escalated, even the respected clergy began questioning the trials. Reverend Increase Mather openly criticized spectral evidence, declaring, "It is better that 10 suspected witches escape than that one innocent suffer." The brutal death of Giles Corey and the execution of pious women like Rebecca Nurse led to a crisis of conscience. Governor Phipps intervened in October 1692, dissolving the court and prohibiting spectral evidence. Subsequent trials absolved most of the accused, and executions ceased. By 1693, the community began to reconcile with its mistakes. Prisoners were released, families received partial compensation, and the colony officially declared the trials unjust. Over 200 people had been accused, 30 convicted, and 20 executed, leaving a lasting scar on the community. The legacy of Salem extends far beyond the 17th century. The trials highlight the dangers of religious fanaticism, fear-driven governance, and the manipulation of justice for personal or political gain. The memory of Salem inspired works like Arthur Miller's The Crucible, which used the events as an allegory for McCarthyism in the 20th century. The trials remain a cautionary tale about the fragility of civil liberties when fear and paranoia override reason. Detailed profiles of the victims, executed by hanging Bridget Bishop at 60 Salem Town, tavern owner, considered immoral and quarrelsome, hanged June 10, 1692. Sarah Good, 39 Salem Village, marginalized and poor, accused by children and neighbors, hanged July 19, 1692. Rebecca Nurse, 71 Salem Village, respected matriarch, accused by children and the Putnam family, hanged July 19, 1692. Susanna Martin, 71 Amesbury, widow, previously accused of witchcraft, hanged July 19, 1692. Elizabeth Howe, 57 Topsfield, devout woman with land disputes, hanged July 19, 1692. Sarah Wilds, 65 Topsfield, known for prior legal conflicts, hanged July 19, 1692. Martha Carrier, 50 Andover, called the Queen of Hell, hanged August 19, 1692. George Burroughs, 40 Salem Village, former minister, accused of leading a pact with the devil, hanged August 19, 1692. John Willard, 35 Salem Village, former constable, refused to arrest more accused, hanged August 19, 1692. George Jacobs Sr., 72 Salem Village, elderly man, accused even by his granddaughter, hanged August 19, 1692. John Proctor, 60 Salem Village, farmer and vocal critic of trials, hanged August 19, 1692. Martha Corey, No. 72 Salem Village, church member, skeptical of accusations, hanged September 22, 1692. Mary Easty, Este, 58 Topsfield, sister of Rebecca Nurse, respected community member, hanged September 22, 1692. Anne Pudeta, 70 Salem, widow and nurse, hanged September 26, 1692. Alice Parker, now 55 Salem Town, housewife with minor legal disputes, hanged September 22, 1692. Mary Parker, 55 Andover, quiet woman, accused likely due to community tensions, hanged September 22, 1692. Wilmot Red, Win 60 Marblehead, strong-willed woman, hanged September 27, 1692. Margaret Scott, 77 Rowley, elderly widow, hanged September 22, 1692. Samuel Wardwell, 49 Andover, carpenter, initially confessed then recanted, hanged September 22, 1692. Executed by pressing Giles Corey, 81 Salem Village, wealthy farmer, refused to plead to protect property, pressed to death September 19, 1692. Died in prison, Sarah Osborne, now 40 Talus, Salem Village, one of the first accused, died May 1692. Roger Toothacre, 50 Andover, healer accused of witchcraft, died June 1692. Anne Foster, 65 Andover, elderly widow, died December 1692. Lydia Dustin, 30 Salem Village, accused unjustly, died March 1693. Dorothy Dorcas Good, 4 Salem Village, daughter of Sarah Good, imprisoned and psychologically tortured, survived but traumatized. The Salem Witch Trials were not only a tragedy of the past, but a timeless warning for the present. They remind us of the dangers of fear, prejudice, and unchecked power. When lawmakers twist justice, when courts accept lies as truth, and when ambition outweighs compassion, innocent lives are destroyed. True justice demands courage, the courage to defend truth, to protect the vulnerable, and to honor the principles of fairness. Salem stands as a lasting lesson. If we fail to protect the innocent, we risk repeating the darkest chapters of history. Let us remember the victims not as witches, but as people whose lives were taken by injustice. May their story inspire us to build a future where truth is stronger than fear and where justice truly belongs to all. Thank you for watching. If you believe in keeping history alive and learning from its lessons, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video so that together we can spread knowledge, awareness, and truth.